More and more, this world has proved to me that digital is supreme. But one company seems to be trying to buck that trend, and it's making my heart warm and fuzzy on the inside. Because if this company proves to be successful, it could mean physical books are back, baby! It also could mean that brick-and-mortar stores are not completely obsolete. And no, it's not your small bookstore down the corner, unfortunately, because let's face it, small bookshops simply can't compete with the likes of Amazon and Barnes & Nobles. Because yeah, it is Barnes & Noble. A blast from the past? Are you also surprised that Barnes & Noble is still open? As a kid, I even skipped school one time to go to Barnes & Noble. I spend hours just, meandering through the aisles, finding new books and new worlds. And even as an adult, I've recently picked up an origami book a few years back. It's sitting in my bookshelf right now. But let's get to the point, shall we? Because there's a few points to cover. First up, the Daunt Effect. James Daunt is the CEO of Barnes & Noble and is the driving force and mastermind behind its revival. His strategies have transformed Barnes & Noble from a corporate giant into a beloved neighborhood bookstore, and also the driving factor behind the introduction of the Nook Glow Light Plus 2023 edition, claims The Verge article. It's a bit confusing in nature because it almost feels like the company's mission is to move backwards from a large company to a small company, without, of course, the profit of a small company. Interestingly enough, this year, The Verge has not just written one article, but two. At least two that I could find, about Barnes & Noble and its strategy to revive itself. Now, as someone who's in marketing, I don't know, they could have paid for that spot, or it could be organic interest into the beloved bookstore. It's definitely nostalgic, right? So in addition to those two articles, I have found some other articles that also talk about the strategy, so that's where I'm getting my sources, so bear with me, I might be a little critical. So if you want to read any more about Barnes & Nobles after this video, you can actually check out the description and I'll include a bunch of links down there. Back to Daunt, let's focus up. His focus is on books. He's also the dude behind some of the membership changes at Barnes & Noble. His strategy does feel a bit counterproductive, and it includes expansion amidst closure. Because while many businesses seem to be shutting their doors, Barnes & Noble are actually opening up stores. In fact, they've announced plans to open up to 30 stores. Some of the locations were even previously occupied by Amazon buildings. This would be their largest expansion in a decade, and it's being held as a bold move that signals confidence that the company has in the future of physical bookstores. Which is definitely a counter idea to how it feels for someone like me, where it doesn't feel like there's much of a future in physical bookstores at all. This fostering of a friendlier environment, right? The move away from a corporate environment seems to be working if they have the resources and profits to expand into these physical spaces. This could be really good just for, the overall of reading books, particularly if they can figure out how to market to younger readers. I think this could be awesome. Alas, there's a controversy surrounding it, because not everybody is thrilled with the transformation that Barnes & Nobles is attempting to make here. Some of the investors and shoppers at Barnes & Nobles are finding these changes to be, quote, inauthentic. Whatever that means for a corporation. Critics are saying that this strategy is really just a profit-grabbing strategy, but to an outsider like me, I have to just pause and say how? Because if the profit strategy here is to get more people into the store to read books, then yes it is. And it keep it up? I don't know. But some critics do have legitimate critiques of what Barnes & Noble strategy is doing. Some critics do say that this new strategy omits books of diversity and discovery. But I do have to ask, if this is a strategy that is supposed to be profit-driven, how far can they go to ban some of these books or omit some of these books from their shelves? Because at some point, you're just omitting customers, right? That is to say, I just mean that Barnes & Nobles has always been a big store. It is not your local ma-and-pa shop. I'm not really sure what screams authentic Barnes & Noble. Think about what authenticity looks like to a company that started 100 years ago. Yeah, 100 years ago, that's right. I don't know if I want that authenticity. Maybe they can keep that authenticity. As if there is something that can be authentic to a big corporation like that. Let me know in the comments, am I way off here, or is there some sort of authenticity that this new strategy is omitting? Anyway, that's just another layer that sort of is added to the complexity of this revival. But let's think about the big picture before we close out. The revival of Barnes & Nobles doesn't have to be about one company. Could it be a testament to the enduring appeal that physical books have, and the importance that bookstores have in our community to engage readers? Am I simply an optimist? It's most likely my bias. I mean, I do have a degree in English, I have a credential to teach the dang subject, so yeah, maybe I have a bias here. I do have a big bias. I do know a lot of people who love to nuzzle in and just have a good book, so I would love to see more of that extended to the normie audience. you guys, you know what I mean? I don't know. So if you walk away with anything from this video, just know that even in the digital age, maybe we can carve out some space for physical books and the brick-and-mortar stores that once were. Because I'd love to see them thrive. For me, there's nothing like getting a new book or an old book and having that book smell. You know what I mean? The thrill of the new book smell, the thrill of the old book smell. So yeah, go out and don't touch grass. Go touch some books. Bye!